So in today's video, we're going to be talking about an optic that most people don't even know about, and that is because it only applies to one weapon, and that is the Ram 7. The reason I want to bring this up because I did a breakdown recently of Headache where he used the VOK, but very often in his gameplay, he uses the Cronin 2x2, which most people have not heard of. I also want to go ahead and show a hand cam to see how this impacts recoil, and I even asked around a little bit and asked people, why are you using the VOK over the 2x2? And they said, well, the VOK has the recoil reduction and that the 2x2 doesn't. So I thought I'd put it to the test. We're going to find that out in today's video if you're getting any kind of recoil reduction, because the VOK is one of those optics that actually helps with optical zoom, but also helps with some kind of recoil. So if you enjoy the video, learn something new, hit the like button. Goal in today's video is 2,500 likes. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, more Call of Duty content, or just haven't yet subscribed because you forgot, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Let's go ahead and get into the side-by-side comparison of this particular optic with the VOK and then without any optic at all. And when you set up a test like this, you want to make sure that the results are as consistent as possible. And the easiest way to do that, to make sure we get a very consistent recoil pattern for each time we use this weapon, is to stack all the aiming stability attachments. So we got the stock, tack laser, tactical foregrip, as well as the rear grip, which is the granulated grip tape. So here is a side-by-side comparison. We have the regular RAM with those 4 attachments. We have the VOK with those 4 attachments. And then we also have this 2x2, which is a 4x optic. And you can see right here how much extra magnification you're getting. If this combines to have less recoil, then you kind of have a better idea if it's worth using, especially since it pops into that high zoom category when it comes to your overall sensitivity. So we'll go ahead and play these. They fire at the exact same time, pause, and you can kind of see they look very similar, but the 2 on the right look clearly tighter than the one on the left. It kind of does like a weird round curve, stretches out a little bit more. The other ones have pretty distinct patterns, and I took screenshots so you'll be able to overlap them and see them side by side. If you want to overlap them and see if the animation's any different, I went ahead and did that. They all fire at the same time. You kind of see, it's kind of hard to see with 3 of them, but that gives you an example. So here we have them side by side. We have the base RAM with those 4 attachments on this left side in blue. You can kind of see how that pattern goes. When we look at the Ram 7 with the VOK and the Ram 7 with the 2x2, they look pretty close to identical. And when you overlap them, they're very, like, there's a minuscule difference at this range. Probably would not even notice, especially since you're getting more optical zoom. You should be able to get a little bit better picture of the target. So head to head, it's looking pretty good. And overall, I would say that there's a lot of value in using the 2x2. One other concern that this would raise is the ADS speed, and the ADS speed between the VOK and the 2x2 are identical. So you don't really have to worry about this. Obviously, if you put on one of those flipped optics or one of the hybrid or any of the other high zoom optics, you get penalized pretty hard. And that's why a lot of times people will avoid those, just because the ADS speed ends up being a little slow. But it ends up being really a matter of preference. I want to kind of bring this to light because the Ram 7 is the only rifle in the game that can actually use this optic. Now we'll talk about some strategies to handle the recoil, because when I showed off some of the gameplay of Headache, people were like, there's no way that anyone can handle that recoil. I'm gonna do it with the hand cam, and I'm gonna demonstrate that it's fairly easy, and I'm gonna do it for both a controller and a keyboard and mouse, primarily the mouse because I'm not gonna really be moving. I'm gonna show that it's relatively easy as long as you have a good handling on your overall recoil control and your sensitivity is lined up appropriately. So this is a default PlayStation controller that I'm using here, and I've taken off the Control Freak, I've taken off the precision ring, so I'm not getting any added benefit of actually being able to aim. I lowered my sensitivity down to like a 5, I think. Yep, a 5 or a 4. I might even go lower just because I upped it quite a bit. But without those things, it takes a little bit more precision. I have to have a little bit more control. I've also taken off the back paddles, which is an attachment sold by Sony that allows you to jump, slide, or basically map it to anything. So basically, it's a default controller. I'm not doing anything. I'll go ahead and shoot it against the wall so you can see exactly. I want to kind of jump with my back button, but it's not there. So let's go ahead and shoot an area and kind of see how it looks, right? We'll see the recoil pattern. And I might not get it the first time because obviously I'm kind of cold, but let's go ahead and shoot. And you can kind of see how the recoil goes. It goes up and then off the wall. So if I wanted to control this recoil, obviously a 60 round mag, I wouldn't probably fire 60 bullets at once. I would just hold down And literally, I've done nothing. I haven't cut away to turn on any kind of fancy Cronus or any of that nonsense that people think they need that to cheat. Literally, I'm pulling down on the analog stick, right? If I let go and I pull, it goes up. If I want to control it, I can put it back to center. It's not difficult. Aim assist isn't doing this. This is literally me controlling that recoil. May take a little bit of time, but you can see it doesn't move once you get used to it. If I even lowered the sensitivity even more, I could probably even be more accurate and have a little bit more precision. And it would look like it's not moving. If I up the FOV a little bit, I can make it look like there's literally no recoil. If I bump this all the way up, let's go ahead and do that advance, affected. And then now it looks like I have no recoil, because look at this. Look at how much it zoomed out. That is an advantage of PC, not keyboard and mouse or controller. But then I could just aim, and it looks like the gun doesn't move. But it literally moved more. I didn't do as good a recoil control here as I did in these other ones. It just appears to have way less recoil. So we have the example there. Let me go ahead and switch this to, let me go ahead and blow myself up. And now I'm gonna switch to keyboard and mouse. We'll go ahead and do that without any cutaways or anything. Keyboard and mouse, I go ahead and put it up here. I don't use keyboard and mouse that often. But let's say we go over here and we want to go ahead and aim at this wall. Let's choose another wall to aim at. Let's go ahead and go over here. If I go ahead and let go of this trigger, let's go ahead and get rid of the 120 FOV. I don't need that. I don't play at that normally. But it's just an example. Let's go ahead and put that at 105. Console is 80, by the way. So if you want to make it feel like console does, go ahead and play on console, right? So I can hold it, pull the trigger, it goes up and then to the left. Exactly the same thing we saw with the regular controller. Nothing fancy there. And if I want to control it, all I'm going to do is pull down slightly. My DPI is 800 and my sensitivity in game. Let's see if you guys want to match what I'm doing here. My keyboard and mouse sensitivity is 8.8 and the advanced, let's see what I have here. I don't even know what I have. Everything's 1 across the board. And like I said, this is going into cold. I don't play with this normally. All I do is got to aim, pull the trigger slightly, and go ahead and slightly move my mouse. It doesn't even hardly look like I'm moving it on here, but I promise you I am moving it, because if I move, it goes where it's supposed to. So it's not hard. People thinking people need cheats. Just get good at the game. Quit making excuses, because that's what people do. Like, I'm not doing anything fancy. I don't have, this is a standard type of, like a mouse. And this is a standard controller. I can get more accurate putting on some control freaks. I can raise my sensitivity from a 4 up to like an 8. If I put on my precision rings, I can go up to a 20 and still be able to manage my shot. So if you're struggling with recoil, find the right sensitivity. You're playing on the wrong sensitivity and you're making excuses. Obviously, not every gun's going to be the easiest to recoil, but literally if I want to aim, point, shoot, this gun will not move. If I want to put on these optics we were just talking about, we can do that too. Let's go ahead and swap out the optic. Let's go ahead and get rid of commando. If you know, I don't even need that, right? If I want to go ahead and put on one of these, let's go ahead and go a BLK, because that's been proven. And we already had the 4x4 as well. Now if I blow myself up, I know this is a little bit like a ranty type of thing, but I get comments about anyone I break down like, oh, they're clearly cheating. They're using cheats. No, they're not. Get better at the game. There are people that I think are cheating in the community. I'm not doing breakdowns on those people, FYI. Oh, it's not moving, it's not moving, it's not moving. It's moving a little bit, but whatever. I'm not a keyboard and mouse guy, right? And this is like with very limited experience on keyboard and mouse. If I want to just shoot the circle, I can just shoot the circle. If I want to switch back to controller, we're going to do that right now. And you're going to see that, hey, you know what? Maybe I just need to work on my recoil control, right? We'll go ahead and do this here, and oh, it's shooting the little red circle. Blue and red, but whatever. I think I proved my point. You don't need anything fancy. You don't have to. Obviously, it helps to have a little bit more ergonomics with the jumping and sliding, but you don't have to have control freaks to have the stupid good aim. You don't have to have a precision ring, but those allow me so that I could play with both of those, and I can up my sensitivity to a higher value, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever I want. And then you'll see it can get a little bit harder to manage if I don't have those things on there. But it's not, oh, see, I got, there it goes. I got control of it. So if you're looking to improve your aim, you want to up your sensitivity, might want to look into Control Freak Precision Ring. But if you just want to have good accuracy, you probably just need to lower your sensitivity. You can lower it as much as you want, and you will have good aim. And your thing won't even move. I'm not even a god with the controller. It's just there's plenty of people that are better, and that's not aim assist doing this. It's just these guns don't have a ton of recoil. Obviously, if I put on a SCAR, no stock, made it for terrible recoil, I'm not going to control that. But it is what it is. I showed off that both had recoil reduction in some way. As you can see, I can zoom in, and I got good control of the aim, and I hit my shots. We hit that circle nicely. Appreciate all support on the content. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, just subscribe with notifications on. If not, no worries. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.